Okay, we're gonna do some chainsaw maintenance. I mean, I normally sharpen them every couple jobs as needed, but couple tree jobs we've done, there's a lot of water in the trees, and that throws the water up inside the saws and makes them pretty nasty on the inside. Like, take the covers off, blow them, take the covers off, blow them out and stuff. Keeps them from getting overheated as bad, stuff getting inside of them. Clean the bars out, check for grooves on the bars. Make sure none of the oil passages are plugged up. Makes them oil better. And these lips, it causes them to pinch and cut sideways, pinch more, whatever. We run full skip chains on 24-inch and bigger saws. This is a Sujihara light bar, Husqvarna light bar. They cost a little bit more, but well worth the money. They last longer, and they're pretty tough. But let me see if I can figure out a way. Full skip chain has half the amount of teeth, so a little bit faster to sharpen them. This blade's like new on this 572 here. The bar, aim for about 30 degrees or so. So on and so on. Over and over and over again. See, it's got a lines on it for the degrees. And make sure you get it down in there. Nice little angle. And sometimes files get a little dull. Like this file is a little old. So try to tap the metal out of it and rotate it until you find a good spot. Or just put on a new file. But I try to use all I can out of them. As long as they're not super dull, just a few swipes is all you need. Like I said, this chain's like new. Must have hit a little piece of metal or something. A couple of them. And like after the bar gets, or the chains have been sharpened several times, it's always a good idea to check the drag height. You know, the drags. Just to make sure they're just a tad bit lower. That will cause the biting not to bite or bite too hard. And these ones actually look all right, but if you were to sharpen them or take them down, any kind of flat file would work. Recommend covering the tooth so you don't get into the cutter head, and just like this, right over the top. Don't take much with a good file. Like I said, these ones are good, so I don't want to take them down too hard, then the saw won't bite. I don't want to take these ones down because then the saw won't bite. Let's try doing it like this. Can you actually see? I don't know. One way to find out. See that one? The corner got rounded a little bit. That one, the corner's pinged over too. This is a 24-inch bar, full skip. Oregon chain, I believe. Either Oregon or Woodsman. See? Done. Oh, that side's done anyhow. Flip this all around. Make sure the chain rolls. Don't cut yourself while you're trying to roll the chain. Not sure how much of this is going to come out in the video, but don't lose the file. Make sure you're using the right size file. See, hear the difference? That part of the files wore out. So that one, so that one. There we go, that's a little bite there. One more. See the full skip? You can sharpen them a little bit faster. It's less teeth. And I think they cut faster on longer bars anyhow. On a Husqvarna, there's a lot of chain speed they do anyhow. On 24-inch and bigger bars anyhow. Done. Okay, like I said, this thing's pretty dirty. This is aftermarket West Coast dogs for a 372, so I changed some things. That's why the bar nuts ain't staying on the cover. See what I'm saying? She ain't been cleaned out in a minute. Shoo-wee. Okay, like I said earlier, when it comes to the bars, now be careful. Sometimes these things can be very, very sharp. If you have any kind of lip on these side rails going down, and they can be sharp. Like there's a little lip right there. That will cause the saw to get pinched, not cut. And when you're cleaning, if you do them too far though, it'll cause them to walk and cut weird. But that is just as important as a sharp blade. A sharp chain is not having real bad burrs on the bar. Anyhow, this saw actually a couple months ago on a job, we were cutting down a big oak tree that had a bunch of water in it, and it threw it all up inside the starter. We didn't blow it out, and it messed up the spring. The next day when we went to use it, it was so gunked up, it messed up the dogs on the starter cover. So it is good to clean them out every now and then. We do abuse these saws and don't maintain them as good as they should be maintained, but they normally always work. They don't let us down. So maintenance can get put off sometimes, especially on a saw for us. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, they got filled up with so much of that water that it stopped up the spring. So it was water and dirt and slime and shoo-wee. Not sure how much that picks up, but yeah, she dirty. This saw is 2 years old, maybe 3 years old. I don't remember. 3 years old, I think. And I don't think I've taken it apart like this and cleaned it out since it was new. Not this saw, anyhow. I have blown the air filter out and blown out in here before, but not in a while, as you can see. And this ain't just for making it look good. It can affect them cooling when all this stuff gets caked down in the fins and stuff. This one's not bad, but we have burned up 338s before by not cleaning them out. Alright. Ah! There's always a little O-ring in this oil holder passage, so if you're blowing it out with air, make sure you don't blow it out and lose it. See how it bubbled out there? I've had them shoot across the shop. you are going to use air to blow the air filters out, don't go crazy. This saw is either from 21 or 22. That is the original spark plug, the original air filter. Okay. Like I said, see how that just cut that rag? If these bars have any kind of time on them, a lot of cutting on them, these things are going to have really sharp side rails. Do not cut yourself trying to clean them out. It's a bar scraper. Put it down in the groove like so. And just slide it through and get all the gunk out. Watch. Ready? See? Alright, see, as I was doing that, it was pushing stuff out of these little oil holes. That's what oils the chain. One on each side on a Husqvarna, staggered. You definitely want to make sure you try to get all this stuff out of the inside of the bar and out of them holes, or you will have a problem oiling. Air. Watch hitting the sprocket with the air. Because then I could overspin it and tear them up. Alright, next. Okay, you can use a belt sander, whatever, to do this, but I'm sure a lot of people might not have that. And this bar ain't too bad because it's a Suja here or a light bar. They don't flare out too bad. But most people would have some kind of flat file, right? Just take the flat file and go down the bar like so and knock out any high spots. Like I said, be careful because it will be sharp. And do not mess up your sprocket. This bar, dang, she does got a bad tip. Damn. But we'll run her. Should be alright. Alright, now we flip our bars every which way a lot. So what I do is I will do this side, right? And then when I flip it, you're doing the opposite side on the top and bottom. Right, so just go down it like so. That's a pretty good lip there. All right, now I know some people love to have their bars matching, print side up. All right, but we put the best side down. Anyhow, how I just did this, I did this side, right, and then I flipped it and did this side. So I haven't done the same cutting side on one yet. So then this is how I normally do it: flip it, then do this side, same thing. Then when you flip it, you'll be doing the opposite side, and then you'll have the whole bar done. Like I said, there's a hundreds of ways you can do this. A lot of times, anytime I'm putting on a new chain, I will just go over it with a flat file. All right, and now, if you want, you can try to do the top and knock them burrs down, but just put the chain on put the chain on. When you put it back on, run it, get some oil going through it, and it will burr it down itself. As long as it's not real bad. It's a shame this tip got damaged somehow. It's still good though. And like I said earlier, I always put the best side down, and we use our bars for a while, man. Okay, 572 Husqvarna. Blowout, cleanup, maintenance, I guess. Bar dressing, I don't know. Like I said, this bar, about a year old. Maybe a little more, I don't know. I didn't know she had a burr right there, which is pretty good. So I'm gonna put that at the top. Do not put the chain on backwards. Oop, somehow got a kink in it. There we go, flip it out. Make sure you get it down in the sprocket. These newer style saws with the chain adjuster and the side cover makes it so much nicer. And most 572s are going to have the nuts attached to that. But like I said, these are aftermarket dogs for a 372. It's not the right one. This will work, or it won't work. Why do I keep misplacing my scratches today? Man, I don't understand why I keep putting them. Anyhow, run them down a little bit. Tighten the bar back up. I like to hold the bar up And after cleaning up the side of the bars, this chain is going to loosen up. Because when I deburred the sides, it put a lip on the bottoms. So run it for a couple seconds. And then you're going to have to re-tighten the chain anyhow. That's a little tight, but she is going to loosen up. And that's a little tight. Top cover on the 5th gen saws, pretty sweet. Make sure you do not catch the primer bubble. No screws. Oops. Make sure you do not catch the straps. Okay, pull starter. It's sitting won't because them dogs are so much bigger. The aftermarket dogs. Alright, can you see that? Maybe. So, when you put these pull starters on, pull the rope out first a little bit. Put them down on there all the way. And then retract it in. All the 5th gen saws are torque bits on the side covers. Well, most of the screws are torque bits on these. Instead of flatheads like the older 3 series. And these saws do like to vibrate a good bit, so make sure you snug them down pretty good and evenly. And there you go. You have a nice sharp Bad Mama Jamma 572 XP. I love this saw. I mean, wow! I love this thing. She bad. Okay, here we have a 592 XP. 32-inch light bar. I just tighten that chain up way too tight. Not really. It's alright. This saw is about a year old, I think. 2 years old now. Oh man. Anyhow, love this thing. Had a few issues with the fuel line popping off when it was brand new. Literally on like the first tank of gas, the vent line, primer line popped off under there. Literally on the first tank of gas. Wouldn't run. It was kind of irritating. But I tell you what, this is a cut-in saw with that 32-inch bar. We also have a 42-inch bar. I think a 42-inch bar. We run a full skip chain, and like I said before, I like to sharpen my chains as long as I can. Will it focus? Focus. Maybe it's a light. I don't know. She is a little dull, and if anybody does tree work or logging, I'm sure you know once you put a new chain on, you're going to most likely hit something metal. And this is a 32-inch bar. Chains ain't really cheap for these, but she still cuts like that as long as the drags are good. The job we're doing this week has a metal pole growing up through the stump and a chain link fence growing up to it. So hopefully I can get one more tree out of this one, because it's probably going to get destroyed regardless. I'd rather not put a new bar or new chain on this saw just to hit a metal fence post and chain link fence. But she does need a cleaning from a couple oak trees we did with water in them. It just flings shit everywhere, and then it mixes in with the dirt and the fine sawdust and just gets caked down inside the cooling fins and just tears stuff up. But first thing first, I will put it in a vise and just touch this chain up a little bit. Can't go too hard because there ain't a whole lot left. And then I'll take it apart, blow it out, dress up the bar. It's got a little burr right there, a little hot spot. He's running their doll probably. And probably flip the bar again once it's dressed up. And we'll go from there. Alright, this chain is pretty filed down. And this camera's in my way. Man, I did make it a little tight. Just loosen her up a little bit. Maybe the bar is just dirty. I think the bar's just dirty. All right. If you find yourself filing a chain down as much as this, it is rather important to keep an eye on the drag height, or it will not cut. You want them just a tiny bit below the cutter head, which I might have to hit these ones. Make sure you get your angle good right from the start. There's not much room for error on this one. Hopefully I can get this stump cut off this week with it well, and then put on a new one. And that camera's in my way. See, a 32-inch bar, just a couple swipes, I wouldn't do it that fast. Full comp, or full skip chain. That is, anyhow. If this was a full comp chain, shoo, on a 32-inch bar, I'd be here for a minute. I think somebody's here to look at some snow plows. Sounds like it anyhow. Just in time. That side is good. I know when we bought this saw, West Coast saw didn't have any aftermarket dogs, falling dogs, whatever you want to call them, available. But this, I will say, the 592 comes with pretty decent falling dogs on them. But I would like a aftermarket set for it. Just, it does pretty good the way it is.